Welcome everyone to Superintendent's Corner. I'm Dr. David Clendening, Superintendent of Franklin Schools. Today we're here to talk about the Chromebook implementation at Franklin Community High School. In the studio we have Ms. Wooldridge, Assistant Principal at the high school, and Director of Technology, Mr. Matt Sprout. We're going to start with Ms. Wooldridge. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
I know you've been tapped to kind of lead this charge. Talk a little bit about the planning to get the Chromebooks both to the students and to have instruction come alive.
Well, just to give a little synopsis of what we did, once we found out that we were getting the grant from the RDC, thank you RDC for that again, by the way, it's been phenomenal. Mr. Sprout and a team of us, we started visiting some other schools around the state because we wanted to learn from them of what went well for them and what didn't go well, because obviously we wanted to mirror what went well and not do what didn't go so well, so we wouldn't have the same pains that they did. So we gleaned a lot of information from that, and then we had some teachers go on some professional development, went to some conferences. That was very helpful as well, and it didn't really matter about the device, but learning how to use Google. And so that was another step that we did. And then one of the big things that we talked to schools about was how do you deploy over 1,600 Chromebooks to students and make it a process that isn't going to take 5 hours. So we had a team of people that sat down. We formed some committees to determine, well, what Chromebook do we want to use? What's going to be, first and foremost, durable, because we knew the students, that was going to be a big factor, durable. Of course, the students wanted one that looked cool. So I think we got the best of both worlds with the Dell. And I'm happy to say that we came up with a process that spanned over 4 days, that we deployed the Chromebooks in an efficient manner. The first day, we allotted for 2 hours, and it took us a little over 2 hours that first session, but by the time it was over, we had it down to where we were getting kids in and out, 200 kids, deploying 200 Chromebooks in less than a half hour.
Okay. Now, Mr. Sprout, there was a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that had to go on in order for us to make 1,700 machines come on at one time and be able to access the internet. So what did you have to do to prepare for this great opportunity?
Well, first of all, it was a chore to getting the Chromebooks here on time. We did achieve that thanks to Dell's help. But once they came in, we tried to prepare them as much as we could, get them on the wireless network. We upgraded the wireless network so that we could have anywhere between 60 and 90 devices. We still have BYOD available, so that allows the students to have their device in addition to the Chromebook. And so preparing the wireless network was probably the biggest chore, and then at the same time preparing the Chromebooks and making sure that they were ready to go. The students were able to walk up, like Mrs. Wooldridge talked about, and be able to grab their Chromebook and walk out, and it worked effectively first day of school.
Okay. I know that on the curriculum side, as we were seeing the gifts come to us from the RDC, you guys had to do some planning to help get the kids ready and the teachers ready. What did you guys do as an admin team to make sure that we would be ready for the actual use of technology in the classroom?
Well, the big thing that we talked about is that if you just put a device or any type of technology in students' hands and in teachers' hands and don't provide them any guidance on it, the device won't be used in a correct manner and it won't be efficient. So we really want to drive home the fact that, the curriculum is still about grade instruction. So that was the first thing that we wanted to drive home, especially with our teachers, is that, with our instructional model, that's what it's really all about. You utilize the Chromebook to enhance each student's learning. And so the one thing that we think the Chromebook does is that it individualizes instruction for students, because they can, if they're having a problem in math class and they didn't quite understand the way that a teacher explained it, then, they can look up a Google video and say, how do you do the Pythagorean theorem? And so they can get a different aspect and a different synopsis of how that actually works. And so for our teachers, we did put the Chromebook in their hands at the end of last year. And we started providing professional development opportunities. Again, a lot of it surrounded around using Google, because that was the big management system that we wanted to use. And so we started providing them professional development opportunities at the end of last year, and we continue to do that all throughout this school year.
And speaking of professional development, we have some exciting news coming up next semester. I know Mr. Sprout's worked closely with Google and some different representatives to have an on-site workshop. So talk a little bit about that.
It's an exciting opportunity. Google Apps for Education. We went to a summit, as Ms. Wooldridge had spoken about, in Chicago, and we took a number of our teachers up there. One of the teachers that stated, "This is so great, my brain hurts." And so they only got one day of the conference not to because of snow issues. So we had to come back early, but we wanted to see what could we do for our teachers here. And so we reached out to the Google Apps for Education Summit and said, what would be your interest in hosting this at Franklin? And they said, sell us Franklin. And we said, we're a half an hour away from Indianapolis. We're a half an hour away from rustic Brown County. We're a half an hour away from fantastic shopping. They said, well, how close is the international airport? Well, it's about a half an hour away. And they said, it sounds great. And so we chose a day, April 10th through the 12th, mainly because that's the only weekend that the high school was open. It's always being utilized by other resources. So they agreed to that, and so we're looking at hosting that. It looks like it may bring Franklin community, the surrounding businesses, up to like $150,000 by them bringing it to Franklin Community Schools. So we're excited about that opportunity. We're expecting about 300 people. We just put a whole lot of commercials out there yet today, this morning, to social media. And so we're looking forward to the great response.
Okay. And I know that the opportunity to get certified is going to come with this chance. Talk a little bit about certification and what does it mean both for a student and for a teacher?
We have a number of facilitators of instructional technology is what we call them, and the high school has 2 of those individuals. Each one of the elementaries have 1 and on up. And so the Central Indiana Educational Service Center has teamed up with us, has partnered with us to provide that opportunity for teachers. So they can take 5 different classes and then the associated exam and then become a Google educator. By being a Google educator, it allows them to be able to implement Google Apps, as Ms. Wooldridge was talking about, into the classroom to effectively teach. So it's a great opportunity. They'll be actually able to walk into this conference as a Google educator and continue to improve their knowledge.
Great. I know when I talked to the RDC about this, we talked about this is really about helping grow a program, helping grow us, looking at writing and literacy specifically. But what are some other advantages that you have observed in the classroom because of this great resource?
It's truly morphed the way that our students do education and the way our teachers teach. Hopefully gone are the snow days because we can really if it's a snow day, kids can't get to school, teachers can't get to school, guess what, everybody can pull up their Chromebooks and we can still have school even though we don't have to physically come to the building. But to see the creative products that the teachers and the students have put out together, it's just been it's been awesome to go around the building to see how excited everybody is about technology and integrating technology. And I can truly say that we have integrated technology and that we aren't just using technology to enhance our lesson. Some of the creative things the kids have done, we have our ASL teacher. He assesses his students he will give them the assignment. They'll record themselves on YouTube. They'll turn that into him. He'll assess it by putting a YouTube of himself back to them. And so he is checking their understanding via YouTube. And so, it's limitless of the opportunities that the students have in order to enhance their education.
As you can see, one of the guiding principles that we've talked about throughout today is individual student growth, really providing an opportunity. As we're going to wrap up the show, to each of you, what are some future opportunities that will come?
One of the opportunities that we have already partnered with another company is we have this technology class where they're responsible for repairing the Chromebooks. And they will be able to be prepared to test for a true computer certification, an A+ certification. Right now there's probably 1 million people worldwide that hold this certification, so our students here at Franklin Community Schools will be able to graduate with a high school diploma and yet already be ready for advanced learning. We've already had 3 students that have decided to change their major in college based on this technology class. So it's a great opportunity.
Great.
And I think along with that is that, with that class is that now, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to implement more classes like that, but the students will be able to get dual credit with a class from the Chromebook class they're taking this year, that advanced class next year, then they'll be able to get college credit. And so I think that's huge for our students as well, and hopefully we'll get some good enrollment for that.
So I think stay tuned to what's going to happen. I think the opportunities are limitless for us, and we'll also take it down to younger grades is one of our visions. That by 2019, that grades 5 through 12 will have the opportunity to have a Chromebook in a one-to-one environment. So with that, I want to thank personally Ms. Wooldridge and Mr. Sprout for their leadership. It has really been able to accelerate and move forward learning, and that's what's really helping our community. So thank you. If you have further questions about Chromebooks or further questions about Franklin Community High School and the curriculum offerings, the curricular offerings that we have, please come out and visit us. Contact Ms. Wooldridge, and we'll show you Chromebooks in person. With that, this has been Dr. Clendening, and you've been watching Superintendent's Corner. Thank you.